Okay. And is it all for nonprofits, or is it for any organization?
No. That grant was assigned to the PED to do sanitation, so preventive sanitation, graffiti removal, amongst other things.
Okay. Okay. I'll add it. I mean, when we adopt the agenda, we'll see if we can add it.
Okay, great.
Good. Um, 7:02. I just am waiting for a couple people to join. Um, and then we should be getting started shortly. All right. Hi.
Hello, Joel. Hello,
Hi,
Cesar.
Hector. How
Hello,
are you? How
everyone.
you doing?
Oh, you beat me to the punchline. I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Can't complain, Hector. It's good to see you on here. I know we have a new board member, Tanisha. How are you?
Hey y'all, I'm here. How you doing? Hey
Good.
everybody. Hey
Good.
board members. Hey y'all. Hey.
Hey. I remember you from our in-person meeting. So thank you for
Yes,
joining.
I tend to leave an impression wherever I go on purpose.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So
I agree. Nice to meet you, Tanisha. Welcome.
Nice to meet y'all. Hey.
Tanisha, quick question. Were you added to this committee, or you just
She's just visiting. None of the new members have been
I'm
assigned yet.
visiting. Yes, I want to make sure I'm on all meetings, committees, so I can see what I want to do. I am very diligent. Y'all will
good,
come this.
good. I'm glad. Well, so welcome to business development. Thank you. Do we have a quorum? Paolo, I think
We're not gonna pass any resolutions, right?
we are. We might have a statement of a letter of support for the night market. So we might, depending on what's discussed, we might have to
Well, then you can figure that out, towards the end when you guys do decide to vote on the item, if you decide to vote, but right now you don't have quorum yet.
Okay.
You only need quorum for voting, so you can start at any time. It's just for voting that you need quorum.
Okay. Thank you. All right, we're gonna give it a minute or so more. I know. Hey, Carl, I see you are here too. Hey, Carl, how are you?
How are you?
Good, good.
Hey, you got my email, right?
Yes, I got it. I wasn't
Okay.
able to. Yeah, yes, I did get it.
All right.
All right.
Sorry about that, but you know.
No, it's okay. Thank you, though. Thank you for the heads up.
No problem.
Okay. 30 seconds or more now, and then we'll get started. All right. Well, I'd like to welcome all of you to our Business Development Committee monthly meeting. It's our last one before our summer break. It's 7:08. Do I have a motion to adopt today's agenda from the committee?
Motion to adopt. Second.
Great. A second?
Second.
All right, thank you guys. So I hope you guys all received the agenda. There's just a couple announcements that I want to make. So it's the chair report that's first. But before I do the chair report, I know there's a lot of people on here. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is Joel Abreu. I'm the chair of the Business Development Committee for Community Board 12. I've been on the board for 3 years now. I've been chairing it for about a year now, so chairing the committee for about a year now. I've been Washington Heights native for a long time, and look forward to being your chair. Hector, please introduce yourselves, and Carl.
Absolutely. How's it going, everyone? My name is Hector Bonilla. I joined the community board around September of last year. I'm on the business development committee, and I'm also on the land use committee. Both a great experience, been learning a lot. And I was born in Washington Heights, and I'm always in the neighborhood for business and for pleasure.
All right.
Joel, just wanted to let you know that Mancita has joined us, so you have quorum now, okay?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate that. Introduce yourself, Carl, please.
Yeah, good evening. Name is Carl Nebu, member of the committee. I live here in Washington Heights. And I'm very eager to participate actively in the workings of this committee. And I'm happy to be in the meeting tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Thank you so much. Mancita, please. She's another member of our committee. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry, I was coming in late from work. My name is Mancita. I am an Inwood resident. I've lived up here now for about 10 years. This is my first year being on the community board. I am really enjoying, I'm still learning a lot of stuff, but I'm really enjoying the exposure to different businesses and different strategies that would help them as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mancita. Welcome. Just to acknowledge, I know we have a few members of the general board. Isidro's here. He's the chair of the licensing committee. So thank you for joining us, Isidro. We mentioned Tanisha. She's a new member of the board, so welcome. And I also have a Carmen Paulino. Welcome. I know you're also a new member of CB12. So thank you for joining us today. We have quite a few things on the agenda. So thank you. So the first thing is May was Small Business a month. There was tons of events. I mentioned it in May that it was Small Business Month. The SBA and a bunch of corporate entities were doing a lot of events. I hope you guys were able to chime into some of the Zoom events that they had, which was very informative. So I hope you guys got to take advantage of that. This month, there's another thing that is kind of generally small business. It's the Small Business Expo. It's going to be in the Hilton in Midtown. I will put the details in the chat and on the meeting minutes. So you guys could register. It's an in-person event. I was there last year for JP Morgan, but any businesses can go. It's a great networking event from payment processors to logistic companies to legal services. It's a huge event for small businesses that you guys should take advantage and should disseminate that information to the small businesses in the neighborhood so they can attend that event. Another thing that I wanted to mention is specifically for our neighborhood, the Tony Awards are coming to Washington Heights, which is a major event. It's the first time that's happening here in Washington Heights. It's going to be in the United Palace. I will be in that area, be telling the restaurants and the different businesses that are around there to expect. They probably already know, but I will be going around and telling different businesses to look out for that event because it's definitely going to be driving some revenue in that direction. So be on the lookout for that. That's very important. Also coming this June in I would say a few days, the city council will be voting on outdoor seating for restaurants and what exactly they have proposed. When we come back from the summer, I will have more details on what they voted on and what those regulations look like. We'll probably have a guest on to kind of explain it and so they can show us exactly what the new rules will look like for outdoor seating. So be on the lookout for that. A couple other things, and I'll be brief. I know we have a packed agenda. So speaking of the summer, the committee of the whole for my committee members and our general board, we're going to be meeting, I believe it's July 18th. It's not mandatory for us to meet as a general board, but the 18th we will be meeting. And another thing is that this June, our general board meeting, we had one in May. It was in person. It was a very successful in-person meeting. So I invite my committee members to come join us at the general board meeting. It was a success. I want to see more of our committee in this in-person meeting because that's going to be the new normal. So starting in the fall. So a couple things that I wanted to mention there. So we have other things on the agenda that wraps up my report. So the first thing in the agenda, and we can vote on this. We want to add something to the agenda here, and it's about a grant that was given to the bid. So I'm gonna put this motion on the floor. We can adopt it. But beforehand, give me 1 second. So it's going to be Isidro from the Washington Heights bid presenting it very quickly. Is that all right with the committee?
Yeah, it is, I think.
No objections.
No objections? Good. So we can add that after we kind of go over the grant first. I don't see Francisco on here first. So we're going to jump over Francisco until he gets on. And we're going to go and pass it over to Marco, who will be talking about the night market. The night market is an event that's been going on throughout the city and in Harlem. And and many other parts of the city. It's super popular in social media. I see it pop up on my feed all the time. So, but before we go there, Jackie, do you have a question? I'm sorry, I just saw your hand.
No, I'm sorry. It's quite for later. I just wanted to know whether or not anybody knew, Ezekiel, you may know actually, whether or not there's when council is going to be voting on open restaurants. Is there like a date set? Does anybody know? Or
I could have sworn it was the 11th. Don't quote me.
of June.
I think it was the 11th. Last time I checked. But I can check with Carmen de la Rosa and see when they're going to do that. And
okay, that would be very, very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you, Joelle. I mean, I could probably email her office also, but if you're speaking to her, you may as well.
Okay, will do.
Okay, thank you, Joelle.
Anytime, Jackie. Also, I was going to mention this in our old business, but we have the forms assessment. It's very important that we, the cloth is trying to create a bid from 155th to 168. And it's important that we do this needs assessment. It's already on the chat. Anybody who works, lives, owns businesses in those areas, please fill out that that needs assessment. It's really important to kind of go to the next process of forming a bid. But I'm sorry I cut you off, Marco. So come back. We want to hear about the night market. We want to give you this letter of support, especially the committee. The committee will be voting today on if we can do this letter of support. We just want to hear more about it. So you can take it away.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, everybody, for having me. My name is Marco Sharma. I'm the owner of MAG Events. Some of you may know us for events that we do, like the Bronx Night Market, the Uptown Night Market, Brooklyn Night Market. Today, I'm sitting in the car right now, and I apologize for that, but we are in the middle of the launch. We just launched the Vegan Night Market in Central Park. And one of the reason I wanted to come in front of you today is just to kind of discuss the project that we wanted to bring to Dyckman, which is the Latin Night Market, which we wanted to be the largest Latino food and culture festivals in New York City, intended to be on September 15, which is the opening day of Hispanic Heritage Month. If you guys are familiar with the events that we do, it's all about cuisine, culture, community. This is the three pillars that we celebrate. Our events, like Uptown Night Market, brings anything between 12 and 15,000 people each time. We have 70, almost 80 vendors, 40% of them from the community directly, whether it's a brick and mortar or people that live in a community. The rest are more what we call the global food porn community, where we bring like different foods that are not necessarily in the area. There's always like a large stage, great, fantastic music, really well branded. So if you're familiar, if you're not familiar, I apologize. I'm in the car right now, but I will shoot to the committee more information about that. The idea, came with a conversation with the congressman and some of the council members and some of the local bid, and we wanted to do something to celebrate the community in Dyckman to bring more attention back post-pandemic to businesses around, and kind of just throw a little bit of a party that's going to be able to kind of put a lot of eyes around that. In conversation that we've had with the city state officials, we discussed about the idea of really putting like eyeballs from all over the tri-state area to kind of bring back to the and support the local businesses. What part of the mission is to work with the local bid and different organizations and chambers to make sure that we are supporting, where we are letting the businesses know about this opportunity and allow them to participate, making sure that we create some sort of like a marketing around businesses, traditions, heritage in the area, and making sure that this is something that's not only a celebratory of food, but also brings the idea of the culture, especially the Latin culture that is founded in that area. And more than that, also the idea of the history behind that. The project is intended, like I mentioned, September 15. We are looking at Dyckman between Seaman and take that part for Seaman, and then the next part which is Payson, and all the way around the park over there. 2 blocks, similarly to what we've done in 12th Avenue, which is which through SAPO and the different the 1 block event and the single block event and the block party, and it's a Friday, and we want to have like after work between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. to work with the community, to work with the board, and create something that is going to be memorable. Little nugget over here as well. The idea is to run it like this year and really celebrate that properly, and it falls beautifully on the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month. But come back next year and do what we do on a regular basis in other places. Do it a monthly event and do it on the 3rd Friday of the month, and really celebrate the community. Really celebrate the different kind of food and culture and entertainment and anything that the Latin community has to offer, especially the Dyckman community. So I'm happy. If you guys need some more context or whatnot, please feel free to ask me any questions. Again, I apologize that I'm sitting over here in the car. I don't have any of the presentation, but I will make sure tomorrow to send some of the materials. You guys can check us, anything that we do, whether it's like the Uptown Night Market or the Bronx Night Market, feel free. So any questions, I'm more than happy to.
All right. Thank you so much, Marco. I'm excited about this. So I'm going to take some questions first from the committee. Hector.
Great presentation, Marco. I just wanted to let the board know that tomorrow is the Harlem Night Market, so everyone please attend. It's the 2nd Thursday of every month. I do have 2 questions, Marco. The first one is there any specific reason why you chose Dyckman between Payson and Sherman and Seaman?
We went, we had a little walkthrough. We had a walkthrough with representative from the council member and the bid and the chambers and the congressman, and we worked around identifying different locations that we feel that not only will represent the community, the Upton community and that area the best, but also will contribute to the idea of when we bring people from outside of the community for them to see and to support and to really kind of experience something that the community want to represent. So I thought, between the few locations that we saw, I really felt that that's something that can really, one, space-wise, the way it's built out, I think it's going to be really great to do that. 2, there's a lot of great businesses around over there that I've been told that need a little bit of a boost post-pandemic and just really kind of get some new and fresh eyes coming over there. And it's something classic because, like the Latin night market at Dyckman sounds pretty sexy to me, to be honest. Okay, cool. No, that answers my second question. Thank you, Mark. I'll see you tomorrow. I mean, it's Thursday. Thursday, exactly. I got too excited.
Thank you, Hector. Appreciate that. So, and just to get some clarification, so I know that between Seaman and Payson is just 1 block, right? But you're also continuing on Dyckman towards the marina.
Towards Staff.
Towards Staff. Okay, I see Staff. Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
the idea is to kind of, obviously we will require a lot of support from the board if the board so desires, and then go through the SAPO process. With the help of the congressman and the council members, we believe that we can, we know that we can get the second part of the street. We want to really kind of represent different elements of the street. We unlike those of you who've been to the Uptown Night Market, we usually have 1 stage. We want to bring like a second stage to have different music on the other side of it. Really get into that. There's so many dance group and drum groups that really kind of want to celebrate. I personally say, like, as and I can't choose between my kids, like the Bronx, Uptown, and this, but I definitely tell you, like, my entire team is Latino, and they want to do something that's gonna be bigger than anything that we've done, get more eyeballs, get more traction, and I'm like yeah, let's do it, So that's kind of the motivation behind it. We really want to up ourselves in this one.
That's excited to hear. Now, and I'm gonna let Hector, I see your hand up again. I don't know if it's an old hand, but go ahead.
No, just to follow up, off of Joel was piggyback, and I'm sorry, Steve, I know you wanted to ask a question, but
You're good.
regarding Seaman to Payson all the way to Staff, will you close down the highway, the Dykeman entrance? Because I know
No.
there's like if the street goes all the way to Staff is a one-way street going down.
No,
And
right before that. So the idea is to close it really in the intern, leave the two streets connecting, because a Friday night I'm not
okay,
trying to cause any mayhem over here, you know.
okay,
So the idea is like to work with the NYPD to make sure that we leave the two pathways available and we usher people between the two parts. We've done it very successfully in other places, and I think it's going to be fantastic because the park side, the Payson to Staff, it's a large street that can accommodate most of the stuff, and then the other street between Seaman and Payson, within the street, not with the cross street, it's just gonna have a lot, more activation. We're thinking about, there's a few artists that we want to bring, like visual artists, to create like a visual gallery and like exhibition of like the migration of the Latin community and different foods. So really like some educational value, cultural value, stuff like that to add, stuff that we wanted to do in other places but we weren't able to like execute as well.
Okay, and last final question. Is the location already set in stone? Like, have you secured the location, or are we still just trying to figure out how we could assist you in that?
So the location is not set. We did submit a permit just because there's a requirement of like 90 days ahead and all that kind of stuff. In
Right.
order to secure the location, we will need like a letter of support. I think overall there was a lot of excitement between the council member and some of the other folks stakeholders that we talked to and the congressman to do that on Dykeman, because they felt that that's like very representative of the community and the Latin,
Right.
The flavor of what we're trying to bring. But I'm always open to hear some more suggestions. If there's any places, we like one of the reasons for that specific location was to bring, knowing that we can support businesses, knowing that we can bring people from outside of the Heights and up to Upper Manhattan or whatnot, and then let them experience something that is like a more comprehensive community.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Marco.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good location. I know there's tons of locations, but Dykeman is synonymous with our neighborhood. So not a bad location, honestly. And like you mentioned, a lot of these businesses have really taken a plunge through the pandemic, and this is definitely going to help them out. Now, my question is, the only real concern that we have is I know Payson is, there's a few buildings on Payson, and we want to make sure that outreach goes to them about this event, and they have ample time to make arrangements for this event. Have you done any outreach to? I know there's, I think it's 117 Payson that sits right on top of Seawalk. And have you done any outreach to this building?
Our process has always been to speak to the community board first and see that there's an interest, and then have the community also be liaison to the different elements in the community. We've done this very successfully in the Bronx, in Harlem, and in Brooklyn. And this is something that's made us very comfortable and that made people very comfortable working with us, respecting the locals, respecting the people. So this is why we wanted to reach out first to the community board to make sure that there's approval, there's support of that, and then we can sit down and have a conversation about who do we need to reach, how do we need to reach. We want to really make sure that everybody feel connected and everybody feel that it's not a group of people that come in and do something in their neighborhood, but it's something that's coming up from the core people to support and to enrich the neighborhood. So it's very important for us. It's been something that's really made us successful, I think, just being that sensitive to every neighborhood and every community that we reach out to.
Yeah, definitely a part of our letter of support will probably be to kind of just give them a heads up, right? Hey, we're gonna do this event, 2 months in advance, and we want to let them know that this is happening.
100%.
Yeah. DJ, I don't know if you know, DJ Adonis was there this past weekend. Is a huge DJ in our community and the Dominican community. He was there, and it was a lively event. But I just want to go before I continue to ask questions, I'm gonna give it to Isidro. He has a question for you.
And thank you, Joe. So Marco, I was there for the walkthrough, as you know, and Hector, we visited like 3 different places, including Sherman Creek. And we reviewed Sherman Creek, but it has a lot of environmental issues that would have been, a little bit of an obstacle to overcome for this to take effect. We also checked out 204 and Sherman, between 204 and 207. Traffic around that area is really tricky because it's heading towards the Bronx. A lot of people take Sherman to make a right on 207 and head to the Bronx. Also, the selection of behind G Dobbs, the park there was an option, but it's a little bit isolated, and we felt that Dayton will offer the best venue. So, Marco, I've been to the Harlem Night Market. It's great. I'm happy to see this coming to Washington Heights and Inwood. I think that, once you have at least a flyer, let us know so we can publish that on our social media platform. As you probably know, I'm the chair of the licensing committee, so all the restaurants are looking forward to this. I have spoken to many of them. They're looking forward to participating. So once you have that ready, let us know so that I can also do outreach, because it helps a lot to make sure that it's coming from a source that is a trusted source. And one last thing, Marco, the community board works with resolutions, so perhaps we're not going to do a letter, but a resolution in support. It's practically the same, but it varies. The language and the content varies. So I would think that maybe it will help Joel if you can send some historical content so he can build up a resolution, because at the end the committee is recommending the general board to approve this resolution. So I think a historical content might help the committee to build up a case for approval. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, yeah. Do you have, Marco? Do you have like a deck or a pitch deck for you to submit to the board?
Yeah, I can put something together. We have something basic there for the project, and also like a little bit about boilerplate about who we are and what we do. So I can kind of tomorrow when I get to the office in the morning, I can send you some of the stuff, but also I'll send you some of the materials to share with the committee, if they want to see like a little bit more what we do. Yeah, we are 100%. And to Isidoro's point, as soon as like. We just coming out of like 3 or 4 big launches. Once we early next week, we have a couple of weeks that we are focusing only on this one, and we'll send not only like the material but also like links for the application process and everything that we want to do. Plus, we're going to do a series of meetings with the different stakeholders to make sure that everybody is focusing on that. So. Yeah, the only thing that we want to do outreach is like letter of support or whatever, if it's a resolution, whatever the SAPO will accept and will be happy with, just so we can continue the process. And I know also that the board is going on a summer leave until September. That's why we wanted to kind of reach out and be able to get that in front of the board or whatever we need.
Yeah, and that's I was going to mention this too. Isidro, this is why I wanted to include Marco in this one, because I imagine that he's applying for the permit this month, or rather during these months. By the time we come back, our general board won't meet past September 15th. So we want to, and maybe you can shed some light on what the process would be to kind of push this to the general board.
So once Marcus sent the committee kind of a historical content background on what he has accomplished, the places that he has performed or executed this type of event, and leading up to the board about the benefits of that this will bring to the community in putting together all the culinary skills from our local restaurants, the diversity of food, and also that is part of our culture. And if also music can be added, is also part of that process. And on that resolution, it should clearly state the hours, because we want to be fair to our community members to know when this will be over. There will be members that would be a little bit concerned about the noise level. So we will have to be very transparent on that. And I know that once they understand what Marco has accomplished, I'm sure that this will be supported by the board. At least from the bid perspective, all of our businesses will definitely be supporting this effort.
Now, in terms of the committee, do you think we'll be able to vote on a resolution today?
It's hard because you're going to write a resolution. You're going to vote on the matter if you want to draw up a resolution in favor of this project. And once the committee votes in favor, then you would gather all the content the Marco would write and send that to the board. Right. And in a form of resolution, then the board will vote at the general meeting. But in essence, you're going to be, or someone will be writing up the resolution, and I can send you a template if you want, so you can have some ideas more or less how you can drop support step by step. And at the end, you want to support, the committee supports this project and recommends the general board to also support it.
Okay. Is it okay? Can I ask a question? Just out of the sake of Joel mentioned that if we won't be able to pass it through the general board this month, so the event will not be ready for we won't be able to do it in September because SAPO, the process of SAPO takes a long time. September 15th is before the next board meeting after June. So is there any way that we can maybe have the board the committee vote today that with condition that we will send in all the information and the stuff like that, then once I send that tomorrow or the next days, then the committee will recommend towards that?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. We meet, and maybe I misunderstood the question, but we meet as a committee and then we meet as a general board.
Yeah.
General board is meeting at the end of this month.
Yes.
So we can, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Isidro, vote on the matter today.
Right. So you, as a committee, you are recommending the general board to approve this project. Mm-hmm. And Marco, this will be taken care of on our next general board meeting, which will be on June 27th.
So 27th.
27th, at 12 midnight, you might be able to get a resolution in support of this.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so I'll make sure that I'll send in the next couple of days. I'll send what was requested, overview of the company and the project, and also overview of what this project is going to be and the contribution to the community and all the components, the time, and how you do that. We have most of the components. We're more than happy to share that information.
And then Marco, I highly recommend that you come to a general board meeting. In case there are questions that Joel might not have answers to, you'll be there to answer the question for the board members.
Oh, of course. I wasn't expecting anything else. I'm definitely participating, of course. And then, in the next week, I'm going to have a series of phone calls and meeting with the rest of the stakeholders, including the community and the committee, to make sure that we understand more what we need to do with the community and reaching out and making sure, like you said, being respectful and being proactive about it.
Okay. Yeah, so we will vote on it today on if we're in favor of this event. And then when you send me that info, we'll make the resolution and we'll present it to the board on June 7th. Now, just to keep you updated, Marco, we are meeting in person. So you want to come in person, or you can join through Zoom, and I'll forward you that Zoom link whenever we get the chance.
Perfect.
That in. All right.
Okay.
I have a few other questions just to talk about. I know you mentioned that you are including 40% of local businesses, right? So what's the process of you choosing these businesses?
So usually it's going to work like, with individuals like, like the bid, like Isidoro and other organization chambers or whatnot, and making sure that they get priority in the application process. So making sure that they get like a period of time when all the local businesses around and all entrepreneur and on what we call home entrepreneurs, people that kind of have businesses running from their houses, legit business, but they're running from their homes or different kind of facilities. They have the chance to submit first and then be included, and then we open to the general public to do that. In an event of what we're planning to do, the Latin night market, we are one of the mission is to bring different Latin food from the entire Latin diaspora. So we really are looking to do something that that has from every South American, Caribbean, including Spain, including other places that we can bring to make sure that the experience is so it's so abundant. Absolutely 100% to have any business from the community that wants to participate, have a priority. When I said 40%, that's Harlem. For instance, Bronx used to be 60%. It changed a little bit. Right now it's about 50%. We're doing a pop-up at Yankee Stadium, which like literally 70% from the community businesses. And it's all in the realm of like supporting the community, supporting businesses, like putting a shine on them. So that's kind of always been in our mission statement and one of the pillars in what we do. And we want to continue that. With the Latin night market, the only caveat is that we want to have a lot of representation for the entire Latin diaspora.
Okay. No, understand that. Yeah, for sure. Isidro, I don't know if that's an old hand.
No, it's not. Just a quick point. The great thing is that it's going to coincide with the Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations. So that's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah. We're gonna make a lot of noise, and everybody gonna pay attention. This is something that I can guarantee you. And if you thought like the after night market is busy, I'm telling you, this is different. This is personal.
This is that is good. We need that type of injection into Dykeman. Now, are you just looking for restaurants, or is it like bakeries or like dry, or is it? And what type of cuisine are you looking for? Just to kind of put that out there.
So anybody that does anything that is like interesting, restaurant that have like either specialty of like different cuisine or different style. We started working with a group. Honestly, I'm always forgetting how to pronounce that. Is 3 Dominican brothers that make like their own version of like American food. I forgot it. Marcial. I forgot. And they do something. They do American. They do like burgers and hot dogs, but they do like a whole Dominican spin on that. And that's great. But bakeries, anybody that does certain things like more cultural. The beautiful thing about this specific festival, because it's connected to Latin and Latinos and Hispanic people from all over the world, like 40 something countries at least. That any spin is like that. I've seen some ideas of Ecuadorian ceviche, but also Mexican ceviche. We've seen ideas of like different kind of arepas, different kind of desserts. So the magnitude of the possibilities is crazy, and it's so large, and we know that we can't celebrate that all in one time. That's why the whole idea was to come back next year and do that once a month and really kind of create like a thing going on with the community the way that we do with other places, and I think it's going to be incredibly successful.
Yes, excellent. Now, one of my last questions is, what's the total amount of businesses that you think are going to be able to fit in this space?
We're thinking about 70 to 80 different businesses booth, on the one time. The beautiful thing that we do on a regular season is think about 60 to 70 multiple 7 or 8 times. So we have an opportunity for like almost 400 different businesses to kind of participate in rotation. Now, it's not always like a full rotation because there's a lot of like crowd favorites that are coming back, and there's not always enough business, but there's always every event that you're going to come to our events, when part of a series, you will see at least 15 to 20% new vendors each time. And that's because we want to make sure that people keep coming and knowing that, hey, you can get your favorite, but try something else as well.
Right. All right. Yeah, because I imagine that you usually want this to be month in and month out or week in, week out. But because it is a one event, 70 to 80 is probably for this. And hopefully next time you come around, we'll be able to do more businesses. But thank you for doing the 40%. 40% is huge, especially for local businesses. Isidro can recommend some. We'll recommend some on the board, and we'll chat on the side, and other chambers of commerce in the. Please take their consideration because they're.
Appreciate that.
So, any other questions from the committee? I know Mancita's here. Carl, do you guys have any questions?
No, I believe much of the base has been covered in terms of what I was going to ask. My question initially was going to be like, again, how many businesses will be involved, and the geographical spread of this event and stuff. And these matters have been pretty much covered at this point.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Mancita.
Oh, I don't have any questions. I was really impressed by the presentation though. And I've been to the Uptown Market, and one of my colleagues is actually going this Thursday again. And yeah, I think it would be awesome if we could bring that same energy up here.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Excellent. So I recommend we go to a straight vote. We will be voting in favor of this event or not in favor of this event. It's I believe it's just 1, 2, 4 of us. So I will be putting this to a vote, and then we will type up the resolutions based on the things that Marco sends me throughout this week. And I'll share it to the general board. So if we can get a vote, and do a roll call here. Hector, how do you vote?
In favor of Marco and his ours.
Great. Carl?
Vote yes.
Mancita?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well.
Thank you, guys.
Marco, we will be drafting a resolution, and we'll forward it to the general board, and then they'll vote. But I invite you, like Isidro said, to come on over and see if you have any questions. If they have any questions, you can answer them. So thank you.
100%. Thank you so much. I'll send you the stuff as soon as possible. And if anybody over there by Thursday, I'm going to leave my number just so you have it in the chat. Please feel free. Like this Thursday is going to be a little bit bigger than normal, but and that's just going to be fun. I'm just hoping the weather's going to hold. I appreciate you guys' time, and I appreciate you guys' welcome us and really supportive of that. We'll send you all the stuff for the resolution, and we look forward to seeing. I look forward to seeing everybody on the meeting at the end of the month.
All right, great. Now I'll send you those details. Just give me 1 second here, Marco.
No problem.
Are there any members of the public that are on? I know that I promoted some. I don't think there was any. Okay, never mind. But thank you again, Marco. We will chat offline, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
All right. So on see, there's that an old hand?
I just want to compliment what you have accomplished here in this committee. The BID strongly believes that by creating destinations, that's how you actually disseminate what the community is all about. And by supporting this project, you're going to create a venue for people to understand that it's going to happen on a yearly basis. So that's going to identify Dykeman on a yearly basis, where a group of people are going to keep coming and coming back. Just like the Medieval Festival, as you know, it's a historical event. And once, by supporting this type of project, I think will be great for the well-being of all the small businesses in Northern Manhattan, Washington Heights. So I think that what you have done tonight is to some extent historical, because it's the beginning on how we're going to create venues that are going to attract many people from outside the community, and thus invigorating the vibrancy of our small businesses up here. So really commend you, Joel, and the committee for approving this.
Thank you, see, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what we look to do here in the committee. So hopefully we set the precedent going forward that they're definitely welcomed here and any other event for sure. So thank you, Cedar, for your guidance. I appreciate that. Going back and moving the agenda forward, I know that we had Francisco, Mr. Marte, for the Bodega and Small Businesses Group. I don't see him on here, and he did confirm that he will be coming on. And maybe you could shed some light on this grant specifically for bodega owners. Isidro, can you speak on this a little bit, or and maybe you can also speak on the grant that you were awarded for the cleanup of these streets?
For the Bodega Association, a grant was given to the United States Bodega Association, where it's going to build up some type of security system where bodega owners and deli owners can have the technology to press some button, and immediately they'll be alerted to the local precincts. I don't have much details and I don't want to go into it, but if you like, Joel, can send Francisco a note, let him know that we're waiting for him and maybe he can join us. You're muted.
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yes, send him a text, see if he could join us. I did send him the office to send him some stuff. So, Jack, I see you have your hand up. Is that an old hand?
No, it's a new one. There is a link. It's through it's through the assembly member Septimo in the Bronx, and you could access the actual grants on her website. I will put it in the chat over here. This is just in case Francisco doesn't come. I actually started walking around a little earlier, speaking to bodegas and just letting them know that this was available. It's a very good opportunity for them to get free equipment, cameras and panic buttons and such. Here, wait 1 second.
Yes, send it in the chat and I will.
There.
And I will disseminate that. And this is Amanda Septimo.
She's the assembly member for the South Bronx.
Okay. And it's on her website that you can access these grants?
Well, it isn't. It's not on her legislative website. I thought it was. It's in my, did you get my newsletter this week? It's in there. It's literally the first. Yeah, look at that. Look, it's the first. If you open it up from the cloth, you'll see it. Link is there's like a brief description and the link is in there. It's not her legislative website. It's a website that she developed for just for this grant. That's it. Okay.
If I think I have it here. I'm gonna put it in the chat just so you guys, if the people that are here, I think I got it here.
Okay.
Yep. Give us a second here.
I would open it up, except I have problems with this Chromebook, and then everybody will see all my opened.
No, it's okay. I got it here. That's the website I got. It's similar to the one that you posted. So
right.
Hopefully we get Francisco to come on here and explain to us a little bit more about it. So anybody who's joining us, you can go to that website and there's more info on it if Francisco doesn't join us. There's a couple things that I want to talk about that are also in the agenda. The old business is obviously, I mentioned it earlier, the assessment for cloth. It's in the chat. Please go to it, fill out the assessment. It's the last week. I also wanted to talk to you guys about something that we're doing in the general board for engagement. So the office of the mayor's office has a specific, how can you call it, a specific department that we're utilizing to create more engagement for Community 12. And there is a survey that this team that's going to help us identify some rooms, different areas of improvement that we can do to kind of improve engagement. For Community Board 12, there's a survey that I encourage the board, the committee members to go to and fill out so we can engage with this group. So to help Community Board 12 kind of engage more with the community. So I'll send it to you guys individually in the committee, so they can kind of design something for us to kind of get the committee out there and the general board out there more so. So any word on Francisco?
So Joel, if you can have either yourself or the staff from the office to send him the link, he's waiting for the link. But if you want, I can go on now with the presentation until he joins us, or it's up to you.
It's either, yeah. So I'll do that while you present, and I'll send them a link. So go ahead.
And if you can give me the sharing option so I can introduce it to other presentation.
Sure.
That'd be great.
Yep. I think you'll be able to share now, Isidro. You're a co-host, so you should. Oh, there you go. There you go. You can actually, let me see. See if I can make post. How about now?
Can you see it? No, you can't see. Let me try it again. Okay. Can you see that?
Let me see. No, I don't. Oh, yes. Yep. I see it.
Okay, great. So FYI, the congressman just released a note where we, the Washington High Speed, received a grant for $450,000. And it's specifically targeted to a specific area, which you see there. It's covering from 167th Street all the way to 179th Street. We are happy to receive this grant because we're going to do a lot of different executable projects. And I think that we're going to make a huge difference in the area. First, let me allow you to see how we assessed the area. You will see that we had 24 stores that are vacant out of 150. So what you see here is practically a difference between the different industries, where you will see some other industry like restaurants, bars, and food, which will have an nexus, where the bodegas, the deli supermarket is on average on what we see citywide. We noted that for some reason, the apparels, the clothing and jewelry is very low. It's interesting because throughout the corridor, there are very few apparel stores, which is interesting because at least on the Washington High Speed, we do have a lot of apparel stores, but on Broadway, it seems like there's very few. It's mostly dense with restaurants, bars, and bodegas, which is quite interesting. You see here better outlook on the many different industries, how is diversified in a lot of different ways. What we'll do as far as like supplemental sanitation is to remove the gates, graffitis from gates, fire alarms, light poles, mailboxes, fire hydrants. You see the mailbox on this sheet here, and you will know the difference once we have painted, and you see that later on. But the increased litter and graffitis are a growing concern for the community. And it sends a really bad message to the community. It says that this is a community in decay, and which is not. And once we fix this problem, you will see a huge difference. On this next slide, you will see the amount of garbage and litter that spread throughout the area. It's something that we are providing supplemental sanitation 7 days a week for 7 hours per day. So it's a huge investment to make sure that our sidewalks are clean, and also that we are graffiti free. As I show you the next item, we're also going to be sure to clean, clear, and uplift the state of our tree pits. As you know, the tree practically the lung of our community. And the picture that you see there, the tree pits have become like a dumping area for a lot of different issues. You see a dove that is practically a pigeon that is dead. And that was a common practice. We saw also rodents going around. And on the top 40, you will see a lot of litter inside the tree pits. So we're going to practically clean the soil, replace it, put nourishments there. In some cases, we're going to add the tree guard to make sure that dogs don't go in and litter the places even more. In cases where there are already the tree guards, we're going to paint the tree guards as such. Moving forward, you will see that the difference between what I said about the mailbox, you see how different it looks. This is already done, by the way. We have accomplished this. So the pictures on top on the light pole, you see how dirty it has been with graffiti, sticky notes, post-it notes. So that was all stripped and painted. So look how it looks now on the bottom picture. Same thing with the mailbox. Once again, the difference. The kiosk that you see on top, that's already on the Plaza United Palace. And this is how we clean it on the bottom picture. Huge difference. The same apply for the sidewalk, how it's filled with litter. And on the picture on the bottom, you will see that it's practically very, very clean. On the next pictures, the next phase is going to be to paint over graffitis for the gates from storefronts. For that to happen, we need to have permission from the store owners, from the operators, to make sure that we comply. We letting them know that if they want, that it's going to be free of charge, but they must give us consent because these are private properties. So we are working on that phase right now as we speak. I have collected over 30 applicants that are willing to have those graffitis removed. It takes a while for them to understand that this is free of charge. Sometimes, our business, when they get something for free, they get a little bit nervous. They think that something is coming up behind to bite them. But because of the great work the sanitation crew is doing already there, they already know that this is something that they can trust. And we're getting a lot of number of stores to get painted. So this is a great event. We're also going to have free of charge for operators that want to replace their awnings, some type of fee that we can cover for them to replace the awnings. Some of the awnings that are in the corridor are old, in decay, just dirty. So we'll be able to provide assistance for them to replace the awnings as well. So it's a very comprehensive plan that we're going to cover the tree pits, the awnings, supplemental sanitation, and also removing the graffiti from the gates. We're also working with a nonprofit. For those stores that are vacant, there is already an organization that is working with us called Avenue NYC, Art on the Ave NYC, I'm sorry. And they have practically brought up the gates, clean out the window, and they have put paintings from local artists from the community. And the idea is for the community to come around, see these pieces of art, and hopefully some of them will be sold. all from local artists. I think this is a great concept that we have put together, and it's going to make a huge difference. Also, as part of a different grant that we received, there will be sidewalks that will be power washed, completely power washed. So for that particular aspect of power washing, any type of sidewalks that you see that might need help, please let us know, and we'll definitely, make an assessment and see if we can power wash that particular sidewalk. So Joel, in short, this is a great event that was brought up by the congressman and also the hospital, New York Presbyterian Hospital. And we are working with, in conjunction with those two offices, to make sure that we address the needs of our local business operators. And again, we want to fortify the fact that this is all for small businesses, to make sure that they stay afloat and that they survive, so that we become a healthy and prosperous business community. On that note, I'm going to open up for questions.
Thank you so much, Isidro. I congratulate you and the bid for receiving this grant. And let's see if we have any questions. Jackie.
That's a mistake. Sorry, that was from before. I forgot to lower my hand.
No, you're good. Yeah, and congratulations. This is really good for especially that part of our neighborhood. So many businesses there. For sure. Thank you so much. I just had a few questions. So are you outsourcing the cleanup to a different organization, or are you going to be doing the hiring for cleanup?
So it's a great question. So we outsourced that particular part of the grant, and it's to a local company, minority owned and certified. So that is the great thing about doing this, because we want to make sure that the jobs stay local. And we hired a company that is certified as minority owned, and locally also. They actually came from the Heights, and we were more than happy about the work that they're performing around the Heights. I mean, you can take a walk around 167 through 179, and you see the light poles, you see the painting of the mailboxes, the fire hydrants. I mean, everything is just beautiful. And wait until we do the power washing, and wait until we do the cleaning of the graffitis on the gates. It's great. It's beautiful.
That's great. I will kind of put this in the minutes, and if there's any way that we can help, please let us know. I know that you're taking care of it on the bid side, but congratulations, and thank you for your diligent work at the bid. I'm pretty sure we'll see how clean it is come when we finish the project.
And Joel, this is going to complement what Jackie and Cloth are doing to make sure that they bring a new bid uptown. So this is practically mimicking a small bid, and already all the business operators are giving us the highest remarks about what is being done. So I'm happy to work with Jackie and obviously Yvonne to make sure that the operators know that this is happening, and the new bid can also do the same in the future. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Isidro. Looking forward to that. Thank you so much. I see we have Francisco. Hello, Francisco. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really excited about the grant. We wanted you to come on and kind of talk to us about what's going on with the grant, and how could our small business owners, especially our bodegueros, take advantage of this. So go ahead.
All right. So first, thank you, Isidro. Really doing great jobs, and I believe that that's initiative that Isidro is doing it. That will be great. That will show that another bid will be taking that as an example. We need to have a better environmental in Washington Heights. So we deserve it, and we will have it with Isidro there. Well, I want to talk about the grant for public safety. Since 2020, I always be fighting for public safety. We be having a lot of problems on security, bodegas, supermarkets. Now, with this program, we will install cameras and panic button in the store. camera with the high definition. The panic button, that will be like an emergency call, but we need to engage with the NYPD. We got to work together with the NYPD because that's the only way that the program can succeed. And what I call with this program is like to prevent. When you have a better a technical system like cameras, any technical device that can prevent you from anyone that is already doing shoplifting. And he came to my store, and then he just like a rubber door. This is coming back and forth. So with this type of camera, we will have can save your picture, and once that you come back, we will be able to identify or to have a notice in order for us to keep an eye on you. When you see someone that come with the intention to steal, and they knows and they see that you are watching them, that means that they will gonna walk out. That's a prevention, and that can prevent any really bad incident that happened, like the Jose Albas and Junior Hernandez happened also. So that's what I want to try to prevent, that any customer or bodega owners or employees get hurt, or any small problems can turn to a tragedy. So they will be helped a lot. And I want to ask to all of the elected officials to get some funding so we can do this program. We can extend the 5 boroughs. For now, we're gonna start in the Bronx, South Bronx, Washington Heights, and Harlem. Now we already gonna start this week. We already started to fill it up the application. We hopefully for the end of June, we're gonna start to installing those devices. But once again, you know, we have to work together. We got to understand that the violence and the no consequence is affecting on all of us. It's affecting our working class that they go afraid to work. Our all the people to go take a walk. The mothers that they be afraid to let the kids going down or take the kids to the park. So we need to work together, and that's what I'm focused. Save the store, but always I be saying we need to work with the community, because within the community we are all there. So for me, always the number one is the community. Work together with the community. That includes the NYPD, all of the department. Then we can bring back the public safety that we needed. I'm very excited about this program because it's something that I've been working. I've been supporting this. I have a campaign that said we support the community, and the NYPD community always come first. That's what we need. So our elected officers, our leaders, community leaders, let's come together. Let's work together with the NYPD, with the business community, with local based organization. Let's work together. Let's educate our people also that they need to respect the law. We need to respect the law. We got to understand that have to be consequence when you break the law. So when we educate our people, you're gonna see less incident that will be happening. And we gotta work hard on that. You know, I'm here to work anywhere that I've been needed. I will be there advocating for our bodegueros, supermarkets, all the small business, and first, our community. So I'm really happy that you invite me here. Anytime you can invite me, and I will be happy to be with you. And in any program that you doing, you can invite me. I will be happy to work with your guys. Let's bring the public safety back. We can get it together. We can get it. Thank you.
Thank you, Francisco, for your work. Firstly, I know you do a lot of work with our bodegueros and our small businesses. So I thank you for your work. And I totally agree with you. Public safety has been a huge deal, especially for small businesses. And apart from our community, our day-to-day civilians, they are affected, especially when there's no consequences for the bad actions that they do because of the bail reform. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I think there's ways to kind of prevent that, and this security grant is one of them. First of all, let me just ask a question. Anybody from the committee want to ask a question to Francisco? I know I see Jackie and Isidro. Let me just ask him one question. Where do you start? Where do you apply? What's the website that you can go and I can share to a bodeguero that, hey, you know, this is the website where you can go and apply for this?
I will send you to you the website. So to go to the website, I will send it you so you can share with everyone so they can apply. So Washington High is perfect to apply for them.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Or they can call, you know, using my number. They can call my number also, so we can register them. We can help them to get registered. But I will send you the link to do it.
Okay, we'll do. Isidro, I saw Isidro's hands first.
Thank you so much, Johan.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Francisco, you have done an outstanding job, and I applaud you for all of your efforts that you have done for the bodegueros, supermarkets, the deli markets as well. And this is not only restrictive to the Latino Dominican community. There are there are a lot of Arab descent from Yemen, Yemeni descent. There are also coming into our city, and I'm glad that you welcome them with open arms, that you support them as well, because this is a city of immigrant. And I highly recommend that you continue to do this. I'm here to help. However I can help, please feel free and reach out, because I also have some bodegueros in my bid and throughout my hand that I can have access to. One question that I have, Francisco.
Yes.
It was mentioned about how they can go applying. Are there any requirements that that you might have for them to receive this type of assistance?
Well, yes, the requirement is that you have a bodegas first, because it's a pilot bodegas plan. And you have the bodegas, you have less than 7 employees. That's what you need. And just the tax ID, your location, address, and you go for that.
And this is citywide, correct?
That's no. For now, because it's a pilot, we don't have enough funding. We're waiting for more elected officers to bring up with some more funding. So for now, we be on the South Bronx, Harlem, and Washington High. We want to extend them to the 5 boroughs or even the citywide, but we need statewide. But we need more funding. We need the funding, and I know that the funding they are there if our elected officers are willing to work to bring back the public safety.
Okay.
And something very important is, like Isidro said, this is not for Hispanics, for Dominican, this is for everyone. Everyone who live in the community, have this business, they are eligible for that.
Okay, great. I'm glad to hear that we're being inclusive. So, okay, so you just need a bodega, you need your tax ID, your location. So what are you providing, right? Is it just security cameras? I know you mentioned the panic button. Anything else that you're offering?
The POS. We already talked or spoke with the company that they had a POS that has a panic button including there. So if they don't have a POS, which is very important for the store, so you can know and you can control better your store. So we can help you with a POS also.
How many cameras are you providing? Is it like a certain number per bodega, or is it like?
All of depends what they need. We will go do the evaluation what you need. Because we all have cameras, but if you have your system working well, we will provide you with a better cameras, at least one high resolution camera that can catch everyone who comes to the store. So it could be very easy to identify.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I have one more question from Jackie from Cloth. Take it away.
Thanks, Joel. Hi, Francisco. I actually have a couple questions. I did start speaking to bodegas today, just so you know, and a lot of them were receptive, and a lot of them sort of waved me off. So I don't know, maybe it may be a little bit more effective if you walked in there. I don't know. But is there a flyer? Is there something? Because literally, I took a screenshot from a computer that had information, and I've been passing that out. I mean, is there any sort of? I mean, it was fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's just that if there is like other some sort of flyer that has all the information on there, maybe a little bit easier to distribute.
Yes, I will send it. I will send it to John so he can share with you. That's very simple for the bodegas register. Very simple. The application.
Okay, and the other question is there's actually I have two more. I'm sorry. The deadline for application is when?
No, we don't have deadline. With the deadline is until we got money, until the last dollar is there, we will be taking an application. What we need is, and you can help also, is to ask to our elected official to bring more funding so we can expand and we can provide more systems, security systems to the store.
Okay, and my last question is, just so I'm clear, I'm trying to be clear on this. Yeah. Let's say you provide them with a high resolution camera and a panic button. They are after do you install everything and
yes.
Okay. And then they'll be responsible for a monthly fee? Is that
yes, that will be we are talking with the company who's going to install. We're going to give you some period of time without not paying nothing. But after that, for the service, because that will be a private service that they're going to offer for the panic button, some central, but going to be very little fee for that service.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's very helpful.
You're welcome,
Thank you, Jackie. What's the fee, Francisco? Give or a take. I know there's probably specifics. Do you know what the fee is? Because those are questions bodegueros or supermarket owners are going to ask.
Well, that will be like $3,000 for each one.
Okay.
But all depends on the need. Could be a little bit more or a little bit less. Only depends on what they need. So that was what you're gonna ask. What they really need.
Okay. And my last question, and I'll let you hop off. Thank you so much. What's the name of the POS system? Do you know the name of the company that they're gonna
RS Port Revolution RS NRS okay NRS yes.
Okay, all right. NRSPO. Okay, is it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Francisco. I can't thank you enough for sharing that information with us, and thank you, Cedro, for bringing him on. I appreciate you both. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and I will provide you with all of the information for the POS, for the application, so you can share with everyone around.
Yeah, send it to me to email, and I'll forward that info. If you even have a flyer, I can also send it to Jackie and the other Chamber of Commerce people, and I'm pretty sure Isidro can get it as well. Just so we can spread out this info.
I will.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care, okay?
All right, thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
You too. Have a good night. Okay. So we'll move the agenda along. We spoke about a lot of the things we already have planned. Any announcements that we have? Any announcements? Yes, Jackie.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot tonight.
That's good.
I don't normally do this. I don't know why. Okay, just so everybody knows, Restaurant Week is coming up. The application deadline is June 15th. I'm trying to get more information. I'm going to put it in our newsletter, but if you know of any restaurants that are interested, please let them know. It's from July 24th to August 20th. And what else am I missing? There's a large fee that's attached to it that is unfortunate, but I understand that if you registered early, they give certain numbers of free passes to restaurants if you register early, but the registration date is long gone. So the early registration date is long gone. So the fee is quite expensive. It's like $750 right now, which I don't understand why it's that expensive to participate. But so yeah, hopefully I'm gonna, if you know of any restaurants that want to participate, that's sort of the information. I'll put it in my newsletter if you wanted to pass along, and maybe we'll get some people to participate. If not, then definitely we'll do more outreach next time.
So you said it's August what is starting?
It runs July 24th to August 20th. The application deadline is June 15th, which is next week. Like, I was trying to find out who at NYC Go, at the tourism industry, who to contact for this, like a couple of months ago, and I had no luck. So I just found out today from Councilmember De La Rosa's office. They sent me something. It's like very short notice. It's only to June 15th is the deadline, which is next week. And we missed the early
registration.
The early registration, which would have provided, I think, some of our businesses a free ride with no registration fee at all. But that's just not clear. Restaurant
Week is like is it like a street event, or is it like at a
No, it's it's all over New York City. All these, it's organized by NYC Go, the tourism company. It's all over New York City, and you participate. And you offer either lunch or dinner for a prefix price. And it's supposed to, there's a whole marketing push behind it. They do a lot of social media promotion, so on and so forth. Your name is included on their website. And they have a large marketing push. And, it's a relatively large, event for New York City. But there's not a lot of participation uptown. Okay. At all. I think further up where Isidro was, there maybe 2 restaurants participated last year or the past couple of years.
It sucks that we didn't get that earlier. Yes, Isidro.
So NYC and company, they have tried to actually be more proactive in recruiting some of our restaurants. Because we complained to them a couple of years back that they didn't include Washington Heights and or Inwood. So they have to make an effort in recruiting some of our restaurants. I distributed the application like Jackie indicated. And, you have to follow up with the operators to make sure that they apply, that they register. And, since we do this practically as a volunteer basis, I don't have the time to be tracking up, what you should be doing. Yeah. So I know that the Rabita once participated, they did really well. And like Jackie said, this is citywide. Your name is going to go out citywide, and they do a great marketing campaign. So, I'll try to mention this during my meeting at the licensing committee meeting. But again, it's out there. And, we have to make sure that some of our restaurants, restaurateurs know about this. But they also have to push themselves to apply and register.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you, Isidro. It's sort of a two-way street.
Yeah.
And the registration fee is very steep. And if they're not guaranteed that they're going to have people come into their restaurant, it's
But New York City has quite, it has a huge tourist market. So definitely an opportunity that next year. Hopefully we can highlight that a little earlier, maybe March or April, so they can get the ball rolling. So thank you though, Jackie. We'll put that in the minutes, and we'll move that forward. So thank you, Jackie, for letting us know.
Okay, thank you.
Any other announcements? Okay. All right, seeing none, we have a motion to adjourn the meeting. It's 8:31. Any motion?
Second.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who participated.
Thank you, Joel.
Have a great summer for those who won't see at the general board meeting. So good night, everyone.
Thank you, Joel. Good night, everyone.
Thank you,
Take care,
Joel.
Cedro.